I've been writing this book for many years, like almost 2 decades actually. So I have all these poems and pieces of prose and so the problem was that they're all there, they're all kind of hanging out there and I pull them out as I need them, but I hadn't ever kind of put them into one work, that a collection. And I was struggling to do that. So that really was my problem was I knew I had good stuff, but I had really was missing something to be able to bring it together in a really strong and cohesive way.
And what was it that led you to reach out to me in particular?
So I originally reached out to you well before we started working on the book because I saw your posts and every time I read something that you wrote, I thought this woman knows what she's talking about. This woman understands, and I also felt like you understood me even though we didn't even know each other. So then I asked you if we could have a consultation, and then we did, and it was kind of love at first sight, actually.
I
For
know
me,
we quickly
anyway.
we quickly grew to adore each other. I love it. Have you previously tried anything else to try to reach the goal of finishing your book? Just curious, like what other things
I
you.
have, but I have tried to do it by myself. I have tried other things. Like I'm very unconventional. So, I mean, I actually printed out all my pieces and tried to constellate them on the floor one day. As much as there's this kind of need for speed that I notice in the world around me, I am always slower. So I tried it myself. I tried different things, but I even shared with other people who are not sort of book people, but just people who know me well. And nothing got me closer to kind of, well, maybe they were all inching me closer to getting it all together, but there was something that was kind of missing in all those attempts.
What were the results of working with me so far? Like what were some of the aha moments you had, or what did you learn, or what would you say that has been accomplished or that you've liked so far?
Well, I have to tell this story about I think you call it the magic sentence. Is that what you call it? Yeah. Okay. That day was like the best day ever. Similar to the process that I'm describing with my poetry and my stories and this bringing it together, the same thing is true about my work. I'm the kind of person who is inspired by many, many different things. And even though I'm a leadership consultant and executive coach, I'm a spiritual healer, I'm a energy worker, and I'm a whole bunch of other things that I'm interested in. I'm even a Pilates teacher, if you can believe it, although I don't teach at the moment, but I have a certification. So I have all these disparate pieces that I'm interested in. And what was troubling me that day, even though we had come together to work on the book, was that I felt like I didn't have an overarching statement or mission statement that pulled everything together. And so you and I worked together on that. And I think it took less than 10 minutes. I think we were only talking to each other for like 15 or 20 minutes that day, and it was done. And it was there was a way in which you heard everything that I was saying, and then you fed it back to me in like a simple sentence that just elegantly pulled all these pieces together. And I continue to be profoundly grateful to you for that because it has made all the difference. Like since then, kind of like an anchor and a north star both at the same time. And I can keep coming back to it. I keep returning back to it. And everything then begins to kind of relate back to that. So for me, that's a huge, huge win that came kind of halfway through our process together.
What was the best thing about that, or about something else, as far as working together?
Some people can listen, some people can write things down that you say, but very few people I've met who can bring these two things together. And that's what I feel is Deborah's biggest gift, to me anyway, is that she listens so intently and then is able to say something back to me that takes all this scattered stuff and just kind of pinpoints the essence of it with very fewer words, more clarity, and also in a way that people who are not inside my head can actually understand. I've actually shared with quite a few of my friends and colleagues that Deborah is the person to go to if you have a lot of stuff kind of swirling around and you want to bring it down, bring it to a landing, let it get grounded. Deborah is an awesome thinking partner who listens and then feeds back to you in words that you can then use that just impart a message that has a clarity and a truth to it that makes it so easy for others to kind of come in. So if you're a person who's trying to promote your service or your offering out into the world, as I know a lot of people are, obviously, this kind of help is invaluable.
What are three benefits that you've enjoyed as far that's related to our work so far?
The magic sentence. The second is my book is actually almost done. The manuscript is almost final. And the third is that Deborah has helped me to string my work together. So, in the writing world that I have learned in, we talk about the spice necklace. It's that the strand that has different spices on it, and they have some relationship to each other, but they kind of together make this whole necklace. And I feel like that's the third benefit of our work is now I now have a spice necklace for my work.
That's fantastic. Yay, the spice necklace. And then let's see. Is there anything else that you want to add or mention that we haven't already talked about?
Yeah, I did the 5-day writing sprint. I think that's what it's called. And although I didn't really have time every day to kind of stay on top and go to the live sessions, I just really appreciated the way that Deborah taught a structure for even simple things like a LinkedIn post. I think you called it a pineapple post, and I tried it right away, the structure that you'd suggested, and I thought I was doing okay with my my social media. At least whenever I posted anything, I thought that I knew how to say it, but there was just some small tweaks to that she offered, and then I wrote a post, and it actually got a lot of engagement as it turned out. So it's just that was very helpful. So there's these little concrete, processes and structures that Deborah has shared that I have found also to be really, really helpful. But coming into the first and second conversations, we were not known to each other. And so having that sort of neutral party to reflect back to me some of the things I was thinking about without knowing about me, without knowing my work, without any preconceived notions of who I was or what I'm all about was also hugely helpful, hugely helpful.
That's great to know. Thank you. That's awesome.